Awesome. Well, thank you, Slavoj Zizek, for meeting with us and for having this brief interview. Thank you for your time and for an amazingly thought-provoking talk. So this is going to be a biographical interview, so it's going to be a little bit more about your childhood and how you perceive life and all the exciting things in between. So if we could start, what is your earliest memory? What was your earliest memory as a child that you can recall? That was probably the most influential memory.
First, I try to erase as much as possible of my past. Vaguely, my first memory is 53, when I was 3, 4. There was so much snow in Ljubljana, all the traffic stopped and so on. Wow. And I remember, exiting the house on a big main street, and there was like 4 or 5 yards of snow and small tunnels in between, like you had to walk as if in some mystical space full of snow, just tunnels in the middle of the city. That's my single earlier memory.
That's great. Wow. Yeah. Okay. And who was the most influential person to you as a child?
That's a good idea, because I didn't like my parents. I didn't have any friends whom I really liked. What do you mean by child? Specify the era.
Probably 8 to 12.
My God. No one. And I think it's not that I'm repressing something, in the sense of there was a traumatic guy, but I don't want to know about it.
Yes, no. Yeah.
It's simply, I don't know. It's something so weird with my past, but I hate my life till the university.
Really?
I tried to erase it totally. I hated the elementary school. The only thing I liked is in the high school, they opened in Ljubljana, the city where I lived, Cinematheque, because these are pre-digital times, of course, where they showed just old movies, and this was a paradise for me, my favorite place.
Wow.
Because practically every day I went to a movie theater, to cinema, showing all the old classics and so on and so on. That's the only pleasant memory almost that I have of that time.
So why is it that, for example, you say that you're not repressing it, so why is it that you're trying to forget it?
Because I don't like the memory of myself from that time, the way I remember it. I was kind of a shy guy and wanted to avoid company and so on. Maybe there is something traumatic, I don't know. But I didn't have in any sense, traumatic memories. It's just that when I discovered first cinema as art, then opera, then theory, all other things simply become irrelevant for me.
So is that why cinema was such a pivotal aspect of your...
Yeah, this was my, if I may use this disgusting term, spiritual freedom when I was young, no?
Yeah,
and I started already in elementary school to read film theory. There were things even translated in my language, Eisenstein, André Bazin, all that classical stuff from the 50s, 60s, no?
Yeah, so that had a massive influence on you as well as your work.
Before becoming interested in philosophy, I began with cinema theory. I even had dreams of maybe directing a movie, but then simply by getting to see all the classics, I simply thought I'm too stupid, I cannot do it, so I resigned. But now I still have dreams not to do a movie, but to stage a Wagner opera. That's my secret dream.
Really? So what is it about Wagner that really inspires you?
First I hated always this Mediterranean mythology, Greek, Latin. I always preferred the much darker Nordic mythology, the ancient German myth, Iceland sagas, Finland, Kalevala, and so on. And I like that world which ends up in a catastrophe, with total destruction of everything. From my elementary school, I was fascinated by Nordic mythology. And this brought me to Wagner. But then I'm a Wagnerian from when I was 10, 11 years.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you know?
I just discovered it by through popular culture, I was reading about Knights of the Round Table, blah blah.
Yes, yeah.
But then I fell into it, and I am like that.
That's it.
Yeah. And now I have the same taste. The shocking thing is how little I've changed. Like
Really?
Wagner was there, Hitchcock was there, all this was already there. I always had this, I talked about this today, this feeling of predestination.
Yes,
I
yeah.
remember
Freedom.
at the last year of my high school, this French thought exploded. So-called at that point structuralism, Lacan, Foucault, Althusser.
Yes.
And I remember it was very mystical almost. I was reading that stuff and immediately I knew, Lacan, that's it. That will be my fate. And I'm there still. So in a way life was for me easy. In this basic sense that I never had to choose, oscillate, should I this, should I do that. I always knew exactly what I will do. And my luck was that I was able to do it.
Wow. So would you say that you were predestined then?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it definitely looks like that. But already Gilles Deleuze has this nice formula. He said, if you want really to choose, you first have to be chosen.
That's
And
nice.
I was chosen.
Yeah.
And I was extremely lucky. In a weird way, even political oppression worked for me. Because in early 70s, when I finished my postgraduate studies, my dream was to become a professor, first assistant professor, blah blah, Department of Philosophy. But early 70s were the last Indian summer of hardline Stalinists.
Yes.
So I didn't get the job. A couple of years I was unemployed, and then I got the job at which I am now even, you know.
Wow.
I mean, researcher, pure researcher.
That's good.
I hate, okay, talks are okay, but I hate giving classes. Because then all the baggage you get by it, which means office hours, grading the papers. I never did that. I'm proud to say I did teach a couple of semesters here, and all the grading was pure bluff. And I even openly told this to students. I told them, I remember at New School, for example, in New York, if you don't give me any of your shitty papers, you get an A. If you give me a paper, I may read it and not like it, and you can get a lower grade, you know. And it worked. I got no papers. Office hours are a problem. This is the main reason I don't want to teach.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, because office hours, you know, students, they're like other people. The majority are boring idiots. So I cannot imagine a worse experience than some idiot comes there and starts to ask you questions, which is still tolerable. The problem is that here in the United States, students tend to be so open that sooner or later, if you are kind to them, they even start to ask you personal questions like private problems, could you help them, and so on. What should I tell them? I don't care, kill yourself, it's not my problem, you know. I
Give them the knife and say...
Yeah. So I like universities without students.
That's nice, actually.
Yeah. Okay, they are called research institutes, which I like. And you know that you just do what you want. I mean, if you're a lazy person, of course, you do nothing. But I'm a workaholic, and as such, I was, in a way, very lucky also. After those couple of years, after finishing my studies of unemployment, all the time I was at a research job. I had a research job, and it was perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was like heaven.
Yeah.